Alright, so that is the power supply for the pump. And I'll kind of just show you this real quick. It's got a little manifold here for the filter system, and then there's the pump on the back. It's a high pressure pump, and so what I do is we're running Aeroponics, and Aeroponics uses high pressure. It sprays a fine mist of nutrients and water onto the root system. And what that allows it to do is things will grow faster, they'll grow better. They use a ton less water than standard hydroponics, and I use a ton less nutrients. I mean, I literally only used about 1.5 cups of nutrient powder to fill this reservoir, 55-gallon reservoir, and it'll last for a long time. And all I have to do is top it off when my ppm gets a little bit low. But anyways, I wrapped the reservoir in reflective bubble wrap, which I bought on eBay, big roll for, I don't know, 20 bucks or something like that. My fan just kicked off there. You can see it slowing down. And this pump is on that timer. So again, it comes on every minute and a half for like, I don't know, 15 seconds. And so what I've used is I bought this system from Art Garden Systems. It's essentially 55-gallon barrels with these little 90-degree elbows on it. It's insulated. It's got a sprayer system built into the inside, and again, it's Art Garden Systems. And this is my first run at it. You can see I've got some. This is my starts. These are my first ones I did. I got 5 tomatoes and I think 6 kale, and it was just to get them going. And so just to try the system out, I didn't plant too many. Each one of these barrels holds 42 grow sites, and I've got 4 of these barrels, 1, 2, 3, 4. So a total of, I don't know if it's total numbers, you can add it up. But anyways, I've only got the first one online right now. I got the other one shut off. If you look at these things, they have little ball valves at the top of them, and I can just kind of close them off when I'm not using them. And they're all piped from the same line. And then at the very end over here, I have another valve which I can bleed air out of if I need to bleed air. It's the highest point of my system and farthest away, so I can bleed all the air out. And I insulated these main lines so far, because that purlin gets pretty hot in the sun being metal, and I didn't want any vapor lock, and I didn't want hot water sitting up there. I wanted to keep my water temperature as close to 75 degrees as possible, and I wanted to be able to control the temperature in there, either with a cooling system for it or with a heating system for it in the wintertime. So we're going to play around with that a little bit more. But as you can see, I mean, I won't go over the whole Art Garden system with you guys, but this is 4 of them. I bought 4 to kind of get a feel for rotation, how rotation was going to go with these crops. And the idea is to grow these crops with no soil, no weeding, hardly any pests and fungus and disease and things like that. It's supposed to grow a really great crop. So my first go, these plants here started as seeds on October 8th, and it is now November 7th, I think. So it's been a month. Now, I didn't put these starts in the way I should have, and I'll kind of show you that, go over that with you. But these starts, they got rushed. I started them 2.5 weeks before I left on a 10-day vacation, and they're in rock wool cubes. Let's see if I can show you one here. They're in rock wool cubes. They, I started them in seed trays. They're supposed to start rooting, and after 2-3 weeks, they should have a ton of roots on them. They're ready to go into the system so they can start absorbing the fine mist that comes through these little ports right there. And so they need roots to kind of pick up that mist. Well, I had to leave on vacation for 10 days. They were growing a little slower than I wanted, but I didn't have a choice. I couldn't water them in the trays. So I threw them in the system the day before I left. And the day I left, the day I put them in the system, it was hot. It was 90-degree days here, so the greenhouse was over 100 degrees. I put these things in at, I want to say it was 100, and it got up to 110 degrees the day I put them in here. And I thought they were surely going to die. Turned on all my fans to keep it cool. Brought the temperature down, and I basically primed them by watering them over the top. Well, they survived, and I went on vacation the next day. The system ran for the first time for 24 hours. I kind of watched it. I have a remote weather station, little thing right there, so I can kind of see what's going on this side. I kind of watched it. Everything was working right, no leaks. So I went on vacation for 10 days, and when I got back, they pretty much looked like this. I got back a couple days ago. So they're kicking butt. They all survived. Every single one of them survived. So I'm really happy with the results for that. And I got to tell you, it was unideal conditions to get these guys started. So they might have been stunted a little bit. I don't know if they're supposed to be bigger, but they're looking great. So again, we got 5 tomatoes and 6 kale, and that's just the start. I just put 98 new seeds in trays yesterday. So we're gonna fill this one up. We're gonna fill all of this one up, and I believe we're gonna get all the way into the 3rd one with that. And so that's gonna be really exciting. And the way I've got this thing set up is those cheap $20 sawhorses from, I think, Home Depot, one of the building supplies, on some 2x6s, and then I have a it's hard to see. I've got a PVC drain to pick them all up. They all have a cord at the bottom. Everything drains downhill to the reservoir, and so it's recycled. It works really good. Let's see, we have a supply line right there going up, and I have this little fan kind of blowing on them, just because plants need to be moving around a little bit. They don't want stale air. You don't want to have your plants just sitting there not doing anything. They need a little bit of movement, plus it makes them stronger as well. Anyways, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't know what goes into building the systems. I forget what the name of this stuff is on the outside, but it's got 2 layers. It's got this layer, which is reflective on this side, and cloth on the back side. And then it's got the same bubble wrap as I bought on eBay for that stuff there. And so you can see here I got a lot left over. It was really cheap, really easy to do. And then I wrapped it, and wherever the seams were, I wrapped it with silver HVAC tape for ducting and things like that. So again, the more reflectivity, the better you can get in a greenhouse. Now, these things, you can rotate them. They don't full of water. They're just got a small little bit at the bottom where before they can get into the hole and get out. So they're not heavy. They're really light. You can rotate them every couple days if you want to get more sun on the backside plants. Eventually, I'm going to put them onto auto-rotating platters when I kind of figure that design out, and so that they will rotate every day, so that they get full sun no matter what happens, either 1-day exchange or every 2 days or something like that. But they will be rotating at some point here. But again, this is just trial and experiment, so that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I could tell you about the system. I want to say that it's fairly easy to put together. It comes pre-assembled, and then the greenhouse, I just spent a little bit of time working on it, planning it out and things like that. I get a lot of sun on my lot, so they get a ton of sun all day long. I'd say the biggest problem in this greenhouse is going to be in the summertime when it comes back, is going to be heat. California, and we get hot here, and so 90-degree day, you can expect it to be over 100 in the greenhouse. So I think what I would have done differently is I would have created roll-up sides on this greenhouse to get more airflow in on a cool day, because even on a cool day, it's hard to get fresh air in here. I probably will switch these fans out, maybe to larger commercial fans. I'm going to build another greenhouse in the future. It's going to be much larger. It'll be bigger than this one, which I think I needed more overhead in here to keep some of the heat from coming down. I needed more cubic feet per minute. I want roll-up sides. I'm not sure if the double inflated walls are doing anything for me, so I may or may not do that again. So we'll just change some things. I think moving air, and I'll probably build it so that I can have a cooling wall on the north end, so that I can pull in, what do you call it, that moist, cool air, kind of like an evaporative cooling system, like swamp cooler kind of thing. You can see those on YouTube and stuff like that. But other than that, I think a bigger greenhouse. I may go to a poly panel greenhouse. I don't know, but this one was pretty cheap to build. I think I built this whole greenhouse for $1,500. So my system just came out. Let me show you. Let's see if we can get this up. But you can, I don't know if you can see the mist coming out of here. It's really tough to tell. It's running right now. I don't know if you can see that. We'll see later when I get done editing this thing. That's it. 15 seconds. I put the tab back on. I show you the inside, but it's kind of hard to see, so you can just look those videos up too. But anyways, this is it. I built the cheap greenhouse, $1,500. And you can go online and figure out how much it costs to buy the barrels. So I'm not too much invested into it. My hope is to sell some of these things and get some of my money back and just feed friends and family and give stuff away, and just kind of, I like to grow stuff as much as possible. So whenever I can grow and give food away, I like to do that. It's not my house. I don't want to put in gardens. My last house had tons of gardens and fruit trees and stuff, but we'll get a new place and get set up. The good thing is I can take these things out, put them in the ground, or just eat them right out of the pots. Thanks a lot.